hope you've been happy, healthy, and safe. Welcome back. So glad for you to join me here. So something I channeled just the other day, after an experience that I had, and I figured I'd share it with you guys here. And basically, it's hurt people, right? That's a saying I've heard many times before, but more more thought given to this actual statement. They do this because they react instead of responding to situations. So when someone hurts us, we immediately get defensive, some of us, and react. And I think more of us need to get better at responding to situations. But I recently had someone say they did something just basically to test me. I hate to break it to you, but testing someone, you're basically, if you're intentionally doing this, you're intentionally, setting out to hurt yourself. But the thing is, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting them, or you're not just hurting them, you're hurting yourself too. If that makes sense. Because you really need to ask yourself why you're testing somebody in the first place. Like, why is it you're testing them? Are you testing them from a place of hurt? Like, are you testing them because something happened to you in the past and, so now you figure all the people going forward, you need to test them for that same situation so it doesn't happen again? Wouldn't it be better just to kind of ask them, hey, are you okay with, or, why just set out and test them? Why not open the doors to communication instead? And then you avoid potential for hurt. Like, that makes sense to me. I don't know. Life is all about growth. Like, I'm gonna turn the page here. Just lost my train of thought. But basically, I used to get upset, but recently I came to the understanding, the hurt is just some sort of lesson to help you grow and to advance and move past something. So that's really what you have to sit down and ask yourself. What is it I'm here to learn? What am I supposed to learn out of this situation? So I don't repeat the same things over and over and over again. Because in the end, no one wins, especially not you. Right? Like, we just had here in Canada, anyways, we just had Thanksgiving. So, you know, Thanksgiving is a time of reflection. What are we thankful for? And I think a lot of us don't really think about that. Like, what are we grateful? Like, I'm grateful for a lot of things. I'm grateful, but not just at Thanksgiving. I'm grateful all the time. Um, but are we grateful for, we're grateful for all the good things. When you ask somebody, what are you grateful? They're always grateful for the good things. But are they grateful for the bad things too? Because those bad things that happen to you in your life, those are the things that brought you to true growth. So if you are negative about those bad things that happen to you, and you're not really truly grateful for the lessons, or you haven't really thought about the lessons those bad things brought you, are you really being grateful? I know it sounds catch-22 sort of thing, and I know a lot of you will probably not agree with it, because you're gonna be like, it was bad, it happened to me, why would I be grateful for that? But really, I'm not saying be grateful for the thing that happened to you. Be grateful for the lesson that came of it. And many of you have to stop to think, okay, well, this bad happened to me, but what good came out of it? So that's kind of what I'm saying here. You know, like, just for an example, say your car breaks down. That's bad. You know, maybe it costs you a lot of money. That's bad. You don't have the funds to fix it. Things like that, let's just say. Or you have a breakup, and you lose your job, and you have nowhere to live. You know, so you're just like, oh my God, what do I do here? You know, and your life is just in shambles. Okay? Is it? What I'm saying is be grateful for, there's always going to be someone that comes to help you out, or something that the universe brings to you for you to truly be grateful for. And that's, I think, what we have to focus on more to lift us up as a collective group, is stop focusing on the what happened and more on the lessons and the things that we should be grateful for. Right? So anyways, yeah, that's kind of what I channeled. So that's all I have to say there. That's, we'll put that away. And we'll get into the reading. So we're going to clear the energies. And then get into the reading, okay? So I'm going to call in clear the energies, call in your guides, your angels, and see what messages come through for you today on this you versus them. Okay. Alright, so let's, what should we do first, Spirit? We're gonna get letters to begin with. You can take this as initials, attributes, something, a city, a town, anything. Maybe they'll spell a word, I don't know. Take it how it resonates for you, but don't get hung up on it. If something doesn't come through an initial of whoever you're trying to connect to, don't be like, this is in my reading, because it might still be. There might be a message in here for you. Okay, so N, Q, we have B, we have U, we have E. There's already a word popping in my head. And it's bum. Somebody's a bum. No. So somebody might be thinking that right now. That someone is a bum. And I don't mean like homeless. I mean like lazy. There's a word. We have a E, a D, a V, an I, another D, a C, and a T also coming out. We have but. I'm spelling the word but, like, you know, but. Not, or it could be a person's butt, right? Also mutt, so there could be something to do around a dog. Not a purebred. Bed. Ooh, something racy. Ted could be a name. Ted. Vet. Yvette. Eva. No, I don't have an A, but med could be something to do with medical or vet. Okay, picking up here. Cut. Maybe someone recently had a cut. I don't know. Dev also, or Bev could be, or Mev. Okay. Bye. I'm getting the word bye as well. And die. Someone recently could have died. Vi. I'm getting like a vie for your attention. Cub. As in like a bear cub or something like that. Dub. As in voice dubbing or something. Okay, so those are some of the words and some of the initials coming through. Let's get some charms and just see kind of what this situation is kind of. Okay, so you got good coming out twice. And have good. So have good and have good. Will and time. Have a good time. You have a smiley face and a laugh out loud. So you might have a good time where there's a lot of laughing, things like that. You have princess and divine. Ooh. And then you have friend and gentle. So it's very possible that you will have a good time with a gentle friend. And perhaps this is divinely guided. Okay, so please spirit, let's get the energy first. Let's go with energy first. Let's do that. Okay, what is the energy surrounding this situation right now? The you versus them. So, person I'm connecting with and the person on their mind. Ooh, okay, so we have the power of purpose with the 18 coming through. So basically that's the wheel, I do believe, here. I'm seeing in this picture, basically it's like a target. It's an arrow. So there's something that I believe that you are aiming for in this situation. You're aiming for this to be your bullseye. Like it's your target. Your power of your purpose here is your target, okay? Okay, let's get your energy and then the energy of the person that you are connecting with, okay? Okay, so on your side, you have the bearing fruit card, okay? So you're in the energy I'm feeling here. You're very grounded. This is a pretty, I get the feeling of a lot of love from this card as well. Basically this is a tree. It's pink, right? But if you look at the bottom here, when I flip that around, it almost looks like a cat. Like, if you can see that. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, it totally looks like a cat or... So cats are, to me, they're curious. They're a little saucy. If you ever notice a cat, they don't really play by the rules. They're a little bit, you know. So I feel this is kind of your energy right now. So you're curious. You're I feel you're transforming a little bit. Little bit of fieriness going on. You're the stars. There's a couple stars in this. It's like you are basically you're standing out. You're a star right now. Okay. But I feel like this card gives me a lot of unconditional love. Like you're approaching things with a very, curious, but not playing by the rules. You're not going with the norm of, what society wants or whatever. I do believe this is gonna bring you into some new beginnings, within partnerships, and that could result around communication as well. Like it could be here that you're communicating, basically exactly what you want is how I feel from this card. Like it's like you know what you want now. It's like if you look in this card too, it's like it's been illuminated. The growth, like you are this tree. You're this unconditionally loving tree, and you have all this, like you're strong. Like this is a big, strong, sturdy trunk tree, right? Like I feel like that's been illuminated to you, just how strong you really are, right? Like, and then the stars are kind of yellow, so that kind of tells me, you're it's almost like maybe your power has been illuminated to you, and this is what's creating this transformation. Okay. Whew. Okay, good. Okay, so, but you're curious. You want to bear fruit on something, okay? And you're going into it with a strong, this is what I want, kind of confident. I'm feeling a lot of confidence. So that's good. Okay, and on their side, what's their energy, please, Spirit? What's the other person's energy, please? And remember, roles could be reversed, right? So maybe this isn't you. If you don't feel like this, maybe this side will, right? So take whichever side resonates for you. Or it could be a mix of both your energies. I've done a couple readings in the past where it's like, it's literally the same person I feel on both sides. I'm just picking up energies. Okay, whoa, oh, there we go. Okay, so on their side, I'm getting a burst of magic, the card. So it feels like they're coming out of something. Like, I'm picking this card up as they're coming out of, like, a relationship or out of their shell or out of their comfort zone, something like that, right? Where they're trying also to, and a lot of stars in this one too, they're trying to follow their intuition. They're trying to embrace, I want to say their femininity, embrace their femininity. It's hard word. Sorry. Yeah. But this is helping them to create some sort of foundation for themselves, right? Like, forever. Like, Yeah. It's like a new beginning, and it might have something to do because if you break that, that's a 12, and then you break the 12 down, that's 1 out of 2. So that's new beginnings in a relationship. So there is something definitely very strongly to do around that, right? And it could be and two, this card as well, quite a bit of ping, unconditional love. But it feels like, whoever this is, they're very intuitive, but they're coming out of their shell though. And things are becoming illuminated to them, okay? Spirit, give me. Should we use this one? Yeah, let's use decks. Still. Okay, give me more. It feels like on your side you have the wish upon a star. A lot of communication. I feel like you've been communicating strongly with this other person, definitely. But I feel it's more than that. I think you've been almost wishing, praying to the universe, like, please make this happen, sort of deal, right? Like, and it comes after I'm feeling a communication of endings of something. You ended something recently, and you've been wishing for something else, okay? On their side, let's see. They're in the energy of letting go, letting go to create a union. Like, it feels that they want to create a more stable, loving relationship, that provides freedom, and a lot of love, and just a lot of freedom I get from this one, right? They want to create that for themselves. Okay, and then we'll use one more from this deck, and then I'm gonna switch decks. Okay, the uncharted sea you have with the 46. So healing, it feels like I'm just picking up this energy that you've come out of dark waters, okay? Because that's kind of what it looks like in this card. You've come out of dark waters and you just kind of rose to the surface, and now you're kind of looking around and you're like, oh my god, what do I do now? Okay, and this has come after a lot of healing. A lot of healing from, I feel like, the past. It almost feels like before you were on this sinking ship, and you didn't really know how to get out of it, but it feels like somehow you just kept going. You're like, and you kept, like, you kept wishing upon a star, and you're like, you know what, I have so much love. I don't know why this keeps happening to me. I'm just gonna hold my faith strong and wish upon a star, and things will turn around. And I feel strongly like they have turned around for you. Okay? And I feel like you're on top of the murky waters now. But I also feel like for some of you, and this still could be you, but it feels like there's still something below the surface that still needs to be illuminated. Because if you see here, that almost looks like a lantern with a little light in it, meaning it's illuminating something. But there's darkness all underneath it. And it just feels like you are in this process of, I want to say, up leveling, up rooting, up, just up, like north, up, leveling. I feel leveling up, but exposing whatever this is, right, in your process of healing so that you can create structure for yourself. And I do believe it revolves very strongly around communication, okay? Because there's a lot of blue in this. This whole card is blue. And then in this one, the wish upon a star is blue too. So definitely communication here, okay? And then on their side, what are they letting go of, please, Spirit? Oh, you're definitely... Okay, so 2 cards for them. Shining through and the key. Okay, I'm supposed to read these. Spirit saying read them together. So give me a moment, because usually I just focus on one card at a time. So I'm going to try to read these 2 together. Okay, so I feel like there's something that you are, not you, but they are, or maybe it could be you, they are going to expose, shine through, that is going to unlock. It's the key, basically. It's going to unlock love. Right? Because green is my... It's going to not only love, but stability, maybe financial wealth, because green, right? Money's green, for stability. But it's something definitely that I feel like you're passionate, or they are very passionate, and it's like something, it's like something's exposing, like gonna be shine. It's going to be exposed to the world. It's going to shine. It's going to create a lot of love, a lot of money, a lot of stability. And it's because they are following that path of communication, communicating whatever this is and letting it shine through. They're letting go. They're letting go of this communication. They're like, okay, I have to tell this person before it's too late, kind of thing. And I feel like this is the key that will unlock everything. Now, with the beginning of this reading, if you heard that. Tying it back to that, this is what I'm going to say about this. Whatever they or you or whoever in the situation is exposing, whatever they're exposing, it feels like you're hesitant a little bit to actually do that. Like I'm feeling, or they are, okay, feeling hesitant to expose something. Like they're like, I just don't know. What if this turns sour? What if I get hurt? Okay, beginning of hurt people. And so the thing about that, and my second part of the beginning here, is to be grateful. Even if you take a chance and you get hurt, be grateful for whatever lesson it has brought you, because, and I'm moving so strongly on this in this path that I'm learning through synchronicity that everything happens, and as I reflect back on my entire life, I'm like, if this wouldn't have happened, this wouldn't have happened, and not all the experiences were good. They were mostly my experiences were bad, but that had a lot to do with personal growth and attitude and things like that, and that's the thing, like, you draw, if you draw negativity off a bad thing that happens to you, more of that's going to happen to you. So once you change your vibration and things, and it gets better and better and better, and I know when you're in that low place, it's hard to snap yourself out of it. And I think it's Abraham Hicks or somebody, and she talks about the vortex and manifesting and stuff, and you're just going to get more of the same. So you have to feel the vibration of what you want before you actually get it. So if you're hoping for something, but you're in the vibration of I'm never going to get it, well, then you're never going to get it. Does that make sense? I'm channeling for someone here. So, and I learned this myself, like, but understand you can't control the people around you. So just because you change your vortex doesn't mean instantly life's gonna change, because those people in your environment, well, yeah, you will see slow, like, once you change your attitude and everything's happy and stuff, slowly they will become too. It affects your outer reality. But realistically, I mean, there's still going to be those people that their vortex, they can never get out of their vortex. They're always going to be in their whatever, in their state, right? And, maybe those people are, I guess, there to test you, right? And we all test each other, right? I mean, I test people's patience all the time. That's kind of my thing, right? But I don't run around doing it purposely. It's just, I'm very, very honest, very blunt, and people take that. But the way, and I used to really struggle with it, like, I used to be like, okay, well, I'm just not going to say anything at all. And I internalized that, and, it made me feel, I felt this pit in my stomach when I didn't say something I should have said, and it festered, and then I'd think about it and I'd ruminate on it, and I'd be like, oh my god. But now, since I've understood that I'm an empath and feelings and blah blah blah, right? So now I understand, okay, well, what's mine and what's not mine, and B, if it feels good, do it. If it doesn't, right? So if it doesn't feel good to say something, maybe you should just say it. And the reason, and I think a lot more people, if they would say what they want to say instead of going around testing people, like, that's the thing, because in the end you're testing them and it ends up hurting you. Nobody gets what they wanted out of the situation, right? Like, because you're just testing instead of communicating and saying, okay, well, this is what I want, this is how I feel, and let that be, and let that grow and shape however it should. And when it comes to a connection, if this is you and another person in the connection, this is a message really for you to open yourself up, let go, and do that. Like, communicate, get better at, don't internalize things, especially if it's not making you feel good. Like, popping into my head right now is a situation of a lady, her husband says something to her, she bottles it up, and then all of a sudden blows. Right? And then the guy's like, what? I thought everything, because let's face it, men think differently than women. Now, I work in a very male-dominated industry, and I have all my life. So and I grew up with men, so I understand. And I'm very masculine. I have a very masculine tendency. So I talk like a guy. But I'm a girl. I like girl things. I dress up, I can be a girl when I want to be a girl, but I can also do all those masculine things. However, I understand men. Okay, I understand that, and women, and I'm sorry, men, you're watching and you're like, oh my god. But we think different. Okay? We do. And that's just the honest truth. Our brains are slightly wired differently. Like, so because the feminine is more on their, and that's energy. Feminine and masculine really is energy. So like I say, I'm more on the masculine side. Actually, I'd say more really balanced, but, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I'm more on the masculine side, sometimes I'm very much in the I react exactly how I would react to something, right? So, when it comes to men, and, if a woman, just be patient and say what you want. Because really, that is the ultimate goal, right? And men will be like, okay, right? But if you don't tell them, all you're doing is creating this knot within yourself, and then you're gonna blow. And this could be vice versa. This could be, I'm talking to the dude. Maybe you do this, right? Maybe you're the one that internalizes this stuff and doesn't say anything. Maybe you're, and actually quite a few men do that. You internalize everything because you have a hard time communicating your emotions, and you know, because of culture and things like that, you're raised to be strong, you know, don't cry, things like that. And we're moving more away from that. But I think still, there's still a lot of people out there that are in that energy, and that's where this conflict, we butt heads very strongly, because I think we're in such a strong energy of not offending people that we actually end up offending them anyway, or we end up in strain where things that maybe should have worked out didn't, because both parties had a problem communicating, right? What they truly want. And sometimes it boils down to not knowing what you want, and so that creates conflict as well, because if you don't actually know what you want, and that's something, so within this relationship, whatever this is between you and this other person, you have to figure out, be clear on what it is that you want. Like, say, okay, well, I like this and this and this, and you like that and that and that, and you like this, this, and this, and I don't like that and that and that, right? But be able to make those things clear, you know. And relationships, I mean, these, whatever's happening here, I mean, you guys need to be on the same, like, the energy is the target, the power of purpose. You want to aim for the target. You have, you know, an idea of something you want or you're aiming for when it comes to this relationship. Now, note, this doesn't have to be romantic either. This could be a family, this could be co-worker, you know, a relationship. But there's an ultimate bullseye goal that you're aiming for, that you want something out of this relationship, and they want something out of this relationship. But the whole thing is, you have to come together on the same page to hit that bullseye, to make sure whatever it is, you can. So there's an element here popping into my head of going back to expectation, is why you need to be clear on whatever this is, because just taking from my own experiences, you know, if I had an experience, you know, where, let's just say I just meet somebody, doesn't matter who it is, doesn't mean, I get a feel for that person, and then I get kind of an idea in my head of how they are, right? And I think people, to a certain extent, we all do this. I want to say we all do this. And so we might meet somebody and we're like, yeah, that seems like a really good person, blah, 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 blah. But we have that idea of them. Is that truly who they are? Do we actually know deep down who they actually are? There's a song popping, Stick Season, I think it is, and it goes, there's a verse in there, it goes, how does it go? That's the, That's the verse. I'll dream of a version of you that I did not have, but I did not lose. Okay, so that's, sorry, it just really bugged me. Okay, and hopefully we're allowed to do this, but yeah, there's something in there about that. Like I always say, you know, and this goes back to every relationship. You know, I always get like an idea of somebody, but it might not be truly who they are, right? It's like an idea of what you want them to be. And I think as a collective, we need to stop doing that, and we need to really be in the moment, and we need to um, accept people for who they actually are at a core level. Like, don't expect them to be something that they aren't. Popping into my head is twin. There's a lot on the internet about twin flames and my person, and I'm not I'm not 100% sure. I really don't know. I'm not gonna say yes or no it is or it isn't, right? I know there's experiences in my life where it's like you just can't get away from this person no matter how hard you try. Like, you know, you might always just think about them. You might you know, there might be billboards and stuff with their name. There might be license plates with their initials. Um, Songs, you know, you might be watching a movie and their name pops up in the movie, or it's a main character, and you're just like, why? Right? So I don't know what that all means. Okay? All I can say is not to get hung up on them being, you know, your twin flame or something, because sometimes all these synchronicities and all this stuff could be coming to you as just a warning, maybe, or a lesson you have to go through with this person. Um, and maybe that's why. And if it's a yeah, if it's, you know, a matter of, you know, their name, just Google their name, because maybe that in itself, I mean, synchronicity, spirit sends us messages in the weirdest ways, right? Through numbers, through animals, through signs, everything. Well, what does that actually mean to you, right? Like, so if it's something like a name, what does that name mean? And how does that apply to your life? So maybe it's not the person that you get stuck on and you think, oh, this is my twin flame. Maybe it's the message that the spirit is trying to get through to you through the person's name or something about that person. Like maybe they have characteristics that you really like in a person. And that's what you're after. So, spirit, I'm feeling with this message, this has gone on a while, but I'm feeling with this message, basically the core of this message is to take lessons by being more present and understanding that everything that happens, good or bad, is a lesson to help you grow. And when you actually truly, and I mean truly, and it's not the easiest thing to do. But once you grasp that, I think society, the more people that grasp that concept, society as a whole is going to come out of this fog that it's been in. Right? Because we're going to see things a lot clearer if we're really, truly present and we stop expecting. And, you know, and laugh more, and, you know, have a good time. And, you know, and sorry about that, I'll have to but yeah, I mean, that's a sign, really. Come out of the dark, right? And I think that's kind of what we are, just all in the dark about relationships and stuff. We're bombarded by culture and society and all this, that we're not being present, and we're not truly having a good time. And the whole purpose is to expand, and the whole purpose probably of life is just to expand and to grow and to be in the moment and to have a good time. Joy and love, I mean, that's our purpose, but how do we actually get there? Right? So yeah, anyways, I think that's all for the message today, and hope you enjoyed this reading and stay happy, healthy, and safe.